Hello, my name is Solmaz Khodai Faal. I am a PhD candidate in the Faculty of Education at Simon Fraser University, Director and Instructor of the Science Circus program at Math Potentials. Welcome you to the International Conference, The Future of Education. I'm going to take you to my past experiences, a regressive moment of Curry, according to William Piner's method of Curry. I return and take you to one of my mathematics classes at the Simon Fraser University Surrey campus in the last safe and away from pandemic school year. Imagine a real classroom, rows of tables, chairs, whiteboards, a brand new computer, a projector, educational technological tools, strong internet access, required software and platforms for teaching and learning on the instructor's table. An educational environment and place like this for instructor creates a unique and thrilling experience of working and living with the students. For students, lots of opportunities and significant factors associated with a student's learning and achievement, specifically for adolescents. However, we had to come out of these a few classrooms for our safety. Our place of education, classroom, and learning environment are being reshaped by the crisis of COVID 19. According to OECD, schooling disrupted. Students' learning place and space is no longer like the illustrated classrooms at the SFU. Students' learning has become more personalized and digitalized. Traditional schooling systems have broken down and schooling rethought, and teachers' teaching requires a cautious curricular review and update. At issue is whether virtual teaching and the learning environment, space, and place like Zoom and team classes are sufficient not only for students' learning but also for teachers teaching with the outdated curricula and pedagogical approaches. The purpose of this study is to illustrate and focus on the recent changes in education and our ways of learning and how to improve and adapt ourselves to make better progress towards a more sustainable future. I highlight that we should not only reconstruct and update our pedagogical teaching approaches, but also redesign and update the curricula which fulfill the 21st century students' needs and career path. There is a question here. How has COVID 19 impacted education and the students' learning environments and places? According to the World Economic Forum, there is a reciprocal relationship between the fourth industrial revolution and education. One of the key issues in education is 21st century curricula, which is directly related to the fourth industrial revolution. As you see here, there are so many factors and issues related to the fourth industrial revolution and education which are not the focus of this presentation. Let's have a short orientation. Digital devices, technological instruments, and sensors are now everywhere. They are closer to us than we think. Cell phones in our hands, digital and wireless headphones in our ears, digital watches on our wrists. By 2025, the first implantable mobile phone commercially will be available to us. There are more such as digital tattoos, smart dust, smart pills, and medical objects in our bodies. We form a unity with digital devices and technological instruments. They become part of our bodies and everyday lives. This is fourth industrial revolution. This is something that changes the definitions of so many things. The definition of connection, definition of presence, absence, definition of place, environment, space, and eventually definition of reality. According to OECD, school closures across the OECD countries for an average of 14 weeks locked 1.5 billion students and their parents out of their schools. As schools closed across the world, the educational institutions and ministries of education rapidly developed and deployed various projects and approaches. According to OECD, remote and online learning became the best solution in education. The educational institutions acknowledged that technology could and can amplify and scale innovative teaching and faster ways of learning. And now, teachers and students cannot be stopped from having creativity, new ideas, and unprecedented solutions in learning and teaching during the pandemic. It demonstrates that a virus in a size of 50 to 200 nanometers in diameter could successfully work not only as a reset button in the world, but also as a thrust towards innovation, digitalization, automation, mechanization, computerization, and telecommunication in the world. Consequently, it could challenge our traditional conceptualization of teaching and learning. The results of OECD demonstrate that about 99% of students have internet access at home, and 95% of students have a computer for their schoolwork at home. Across the OECD countries, most of the students have a great experience with online learning in their new learning environment at home, though some will be disadvantaged in this process. Moreover, in some countries, based on the principles reports, schools were able to provide each student with a computer to study, such as in Luxembourg, Canada, United Kingdom, United States, New Zealand, Iceland, Australia, Austria, Singapore, and Norway. Reopening of K to 12 schools occurred when students and teachers' e-learning readiness were confirmed. Close to 85% of teachers were targeted for training and professional development on effective e-learning and assessment. Alternative ways were developed for students without internet access and network connection to approximately 68.5% across the 36 OECD countries, such as radio and TV, and 79% invested in updating or creating effective e-learning platforms and content for students and teachers. Instructional resources and class activities have subsequently changed. Computer simulations, applications, and videos have replaced in person hands on activities of real classrooms. Now, students have access to infinite information and training options. The nature of teaching and the role of teachers is changing. Students as active participants and teachers as collaborators and facilitators should learn together. How can we handle these changes and adapt ourselves? COVID 19, with all its challenges, tensions, and impacts as a pandemic, could provide us with an opportunity to stop, to pause, to meditate, to review, to reset, to become able to start again for redesigning, reconstructing, rebuilding a better future. This stop invites us to find and open a space for listening, perceiving, exploring, and finally turning to the new ideas that will support us in the next moments of future. I refer to Applebaum's concept of this stop. For enhancing our quality of work and quality of education, AIs, artificial intelligence, and robots will be doing and taking care of pace, precision, and accuracy soon. It is the right time to transmit some of our responsibilities to AIs and robots. They are our new collaborators. It is the time of the fourth industrial revolution. It is the time to utilize and benefit from all the discoveries, explorations, innovations, and creativities in the 21st century. However, this does not mean that we should pause and stop forever. This is a temporary stop to transfer the work and place and space of our work, like coming out of the Surrey campus classrooms and entering into Zoom classes. the place between SFU Server Campus and Zoom, in which innovation, creativity, architectural masterpiece, digital devices, technologies, potentials, reality, and virtuality all are coming together and blending for the aim of creating high quality education. Indeed, we will be having new responsibilities and work which is not doable by AIs and robots. Robots are able to understand, respond to their environment, and remotely access information via the cloud and network connection. Humanoid robots are the tangible example of a technology that may substitute for faculties like instruction, meetings, and tutorials. However, AIs and robots do not have the creativity, innovation, ability to think critically or come up with new ideas independently. They are the best at speed and accuracy. They are the best to receive data and process it, but are not able to analyze, which is the expertise of human beings. Therefore, this is why being capable of thinking critically, solving problems, having innovation, coming up with new ideas, and being creative are the required and even vital skills for us to succeed in the future of the 21st century. Why do I talk about pandemics? Before the COVID 19 crisis, the world had already been dealing with another pandemic, a pandemic in our current civilization, existential lack, according to scholars. The source and reason can be examined in the struggling experience of frustration, impatience, anger, helplessness, hopelessness, dejection, and giving up. These are all experiences that might occur in the process of change. So, scholars propose that we need to start from ourselves. A more digitally connected world has created higher expectations, which can cause significant consequences and risks when prosperity and access either is not attainable or occurs with lower chance. To know about the solutions from the scholars, please read my paper. As I'm not going through the solutions, so virtual reality, our living in reality in many contexts and from various aspects has been currently transformed and somehow has been pertinent to virtuality, such as our presence in Zoom class. Here are raised some questions related to reality and virtuality. Our place, space, environment of teaching and learning does not hold any determined and specific location. It's everywhere, boundaries are broken. And now conclusion. Technology is leveraging opportunities, personalizing learning. Education takes place everywhere, anytime. AIs are advancing fast and robots are joining us. To support and develop a sustainable future, digital devices and technology are becoming part of our bodies. In brief, the fourth industrial revolution shapes our future and expands our horizons of possibilities and opportunities. In fact, it is not an easy shift. It is benevolent of a pandemic over pandemic. One needs to be changed by ourselves and another is changing the world. Here we need to change our lens and become pragmatic optimists. Our learning places, spaces, environments are being changed. Home environments serve as a safe learning environment for students and working environments for teachers and parents. I have highlighted how to learn and understand what is happening and what are the adequate ways of sustaining and enhancing the quality of learning and teaching. Collaboration, cooperation are central canons for the education we value for today and tomorrow. This is the new reality, a new normal. This is not the virtuality anymore. With all the shifts, I am wondering whether we can keep our curriculum and pedagogy unchanged and outdated. Thank you very much for choosing my topic and session, and please feel free to contact me if there is any question. Here is the list of references for you. Thank you very much for listening.